Hey guys, it's SRC Reptiles. Today I'm going to be making a little pet update for you. I haven't added anything new to the collection, so it's pretty much just going to be updating you guys on how everybody's doing. So down here we got Mr. Lemon Drop. It's kind of crazy. He's actually going to be a year old in April. That's coming up because this is like the end of February right now. So that's going to be exciting. He's going to be a whole year old. He's humongous for not even being a year old. He weighed 75 grams this month. So this is his tank, pardon the photo box that's just sitting here. He's got his cold hide up here. And then he's got a cork log that goes to the top of that cold hide, or he has like a little cave down here that he can just go into the cold hide if he wants to. He's got his water dish and his calcium and multivitamin mix. So these are the two that he gets. This one's the calcium with D3 and the Reptivite. Let me focus that real quick for you. So those are the two he gets. He mainly gets this, and then I sprinkle this in and mix it up. And normally I'll just take like the end of this and kind of stir it that way. So he has his humid hide back there in the corner. That's what's got that masking tape on it. So whenever I make humid hides for my animals, I use masking tape to put over that plastic after I've cut it, because that plastic can be sharp and it can cut them. So masking tape is not dangerous for them, and it also makes the area soft. So, and also not sharp, which is important. And then he's got his hot hide down here, which has a thermostat controlling his heat pad, and it's set to 84. Right now it's at 81.8. And then this deal here tells the temperature and humidity of his tank. You want it to be between, if I remember correctly, 20 and 30%. So most of the time I only ever will mist twice, just in this corner where the humid hide already is, if this drops down to like 25%. So that's what his tank's sitting at. And that is just, the probes for that are over there behind that plant. So it's in the middle of the tank. And then this bulb that he has, which I'll show you which one it is. So here is the bulb. Looks like it can get up to 95. And that is 4 inches away. Let me get my little measuring dealie here real quick. This deal here, if you have reptiles and you don't have one of these, it's really nice to have one. So it's a digital thermometer. And you just point it at the area and it tells you the temperature. So if I move this just real quick, he's not going to like that too much. It is at 88 degrees. That's what I thought. I thought that I had measured him before just to see what the temperature was. So the distance that he's sitting at, it's about 88, 90 degrees. So that's not terrible. With leopard geckos, that temperature is just fine. And especially if he was too hot, he would just move. So he climbs up this plant here to get to the heat. So in here, we have Vesper. I was about to say he. She is my Gargoyle Gecko. And I'll see if I can spot her for you. Oh, yep, she's right down here. Oh. I woke her up, so she's not probably going to be very happy with me. Okay. Come here, little lady. Come say hi to everybody. So this is Vesper. She actually turned a year old last year in, I believe it was November? Yes. So, Vesper is a little bit over a year old. So last month I'm pretty sure she weighed 25 or 27 grams. So she's doing really good. She's definitely going to be getting moved into a larger tank soon, that's for sure. Just because of how big she's grown, or how big she's gotten. And also she's growing quite well, so that's great. I will say though, she is not completely wanting to be bull trained. She's a little psycho. She does really well with handling. She's just very active, and most of the time if I have both hands free, then I can, tend to her. But this is her tank, and most of the time with this size, I put a minimum of 5 plants in there, hanging plant-wise. So we've got, looks like 4 back here, and then I always normally put 1 on the door. She's got her feeding and water ledge, and then she's got a couple little hides on the bottom that she can hide in. And then I always like using these bird ladders for a lot of my geckos. And then I also like using these bamboo rods as well for just something for them to have to climb on in the center, so it's not just open and empty. This is just something she used to like to hang out in when she was little, and I've just left it in here. It's technically a mealworm feeder. The mealworms crawl around and they pop out the bottom, but I don't use that for mealworms. I mainly just bought them a long time ago for my geckos to sleep in when they were babies. And Peep, actually, one of the babies that's in one of these totes, she likes to sleep in hers still. So that is Vesper. We'll go over and see the day gecko real quick. So this is Fern. And he is also getting quite big for only being almost 5 months old, which is crazy to me. So I'm definitely thinking that Fern is probably going to weigh around 15 grams if I had to guess. So yes, this month he was 9.18 grams, so I definitely think that he is going to be close to 15 this next month, which is March. But anyway, that's how he's doing. We have this little guy in here, Oddball, that I'll show you how he's doing as well. Next month, I'm going to be taking him to the vet. I will say he is doing quite well, which is awesome. I think that he's probably either under the... Oh, yep, he is. Okay. You guys actually will get to see him fired up a little bit, because he has this really pretty orangey color that he fires up. And, of course, it doesn't really show up too well on camera, but you can kind of see that color. It's really pretty. So he is definitely a bicolor Dalmatian. So what makes him a bicolor is the crest and the dorsal, which is his back, is actually a different shade of brown than his sides. So his sides look kind of orange, and then the back you can see is a tan color. So, and then he's got really pretty black and white Dalmatian spots. Very gorgeous baby. You can see that he is looking quite a bit better with the rib cage. You can see that when he's resting, it's not completely flat looking anymore. He actually has been jumping around a little bit, which is awesome. His hind legs especially are looking very good. This front arm is still kind of a little poochy, chubby looking, and so is this one over here. But otherwise, he's been doing really well. So by the time I get him to the vet, hopefully he won't really need too much more care. Or, obviously he might still need medicine just because where he has MBD. But adding that extra liquid calcium with magnesium, as well as giving him multivitamins when he's not getting the liquid calcium, has really been helping him. He's so active now, it's just awesome. So I'm going to put him back in here because I really don't want him to fall off of my arm onto the floor. And I think that he is a male, like the lady thought, but I still am not really sure because I haven't looked to check. There we go. Just lay that back in there. When he is eventually okay to be going in that tank there, that's where he's going to be staying. I just am not comfortable putting him in there right now because there's a lot of different levels and height and stuff. Things he could fall off of, and I just don't want him to get hurt. But it is awesome that he is doing so well compared to when he first came to me, so that's a great sign. So, nothing to really report with the Crested Geckos. I mean, the babies are all doing good and stuff. It looks like one of them went and stuck their paper towel in their food dish, so that's great. Here's Twix. Twix says he would like to say hi. My mouse, Twinkie, is going to be getting a new wheel in a couple days that'll be coming in the mail, so that's going to be cool. Come here. You wanted to come out and say hi. Here he comes. Okay, here's Twix. He's my other frog butt, thanks to Snickers. He likes to come up and say hi whenever he wants out to be handled. I'm hoping here soon that he'll be in the mood to mate, and then I can have some beautiful, gorgeous babies from him and Snickers. Or even if he was paired with Indigo, I just kind of want something to happen. I wanted him to be with both Snickers and Indigo this year, but he's starting to get a nice good size now, which is awesome because he's been really eating well. So the mouse's tank, when he gets his new wheel in the mail, is getting redone because it's a huge mess. And obviously that's not that big of a deal. He likes to take all of his dirt from this area over here that he has dirt, and he's got a whole bunch of oat spray and Timothy hay over there in his dirt area, and that's where he goes to have his snacks. And he's probably sleeping in his strawberry right now because he loves that strawberry. It's funny because mice poop so much, which anyone who's ever owned a rodent probably knows this, or a mouse especially. I cleaned his wheel last night and it's already covered in poop. So, but this new wheel he's getting is a 8-inch wheel instead of a 6-inch like what he has, because I noticed the other day when he was running, his tail was starting to kind of curl up a little bit, like curve. Oh, he's moving around. Is he going to come out? Nope, he only peeked his tail out. Oh, is he actually going to come out? Anyway, though, he was, when he runs, his tail should be mainly straight. And when he runs on this wheel, his back is straight and everything, so that's fine, but his tail slightly curves up with the wheel when he's running, which you're not supposed to have happen. So I was like, okay, it's time to get an 8-inch wheel for him. So he's getting a Wodent wheel from Etsy. It cost me like $26, so I really hope it's nice. But being that it's 8 inches, I'm going to have to move some stuff around and make the bedding go up here so that it's not too tall, so that there's enough room that that wheel can actually fit in there. And I'm sure he's going to bury it and stuff. It's probably going to happen. It wouldn't surprise me. He likes to bury his water bottle nozzles, so I have to have a glass dish down in the bedding. So when he buries it, if it does leak and drip, and goes into that glass dish. But he has a tunnel over on that other side that he will go into to drink from the water. He's so hilarious to watch. I am going to pause this real quick and put Twix up so he doesn't poop on me, and then I'll show you some of the babies. I was going to show you some of the babies real quick. We'll look at some of the adults that are out. So here's Magma, his lovely front of his glass where he stepped in his food last night, and also many other nights, and decided to do some finger painting. Crested geckos are great. So with these, the babies really don't poop or pee on the side. This is literally water mineral buildup. Even though they get purified water, there's still minerals in there, so that happens. Here is Mischief being absolutely derp. What you doing, derpo? What's up? He's like, ah yes, you smell like another male. Hey, come over here and say hi to everybody. You're big boy. He makes Twix look like a little baby. No, you're not jumping over there. So if you ever notice them doing this because they want to jump, if you just gently grip their tail, if they try to jump, that happens. And they can't actually jump, because what he likes to do is he'll try to jump, and then the other day he hit his face on this and bounced off and was just barely able to grab himself, which my hand was already over here to catch him. But I was laughing at him, but I also felt bad at the same time because he hit his face on this. Not Indigo, but Ember has done the same thing. We won't get her out just because she's definitely not going to like that. Here's Blaze. She's the mom of some of the babies I'm going to be showing you. See, I told you, she's offended. She's like, it's too early, don't talk to me. So it doesn't look like Indigo's out. Snickers is just peeking out of her home so you can see what Snickers, she's also mega derp. There's Snickers. We'll see if my boyfriend's cat is in the kitchen. You can see her as well. She's the whole reason that I have to put these here in front of this. Hey, Fat Chungus. Hey, Chungus. Nah, her name's Cleo. Hi, Cleo! What you doing? Hi. Want to say hi to everybody? Yes. She's like, woman, you know I want food, so just feed me food. Now she probably smells the gecko and anything else I've been touching. But yeah, she'll absolutely bolt through this now because she knows the mouse is here, so I have to keep that there. Also, the Dubia Roaches have been having so many babies lately. It's awesome. So I've been starting to feed the babies once they get decent size to these guys. So now the baby Crested geckos are getting absolutely spoiled with food. So I'm going to show you just the 5 youngest ones. Just to show you what they look like. The older ones, they have not changed in appearance at all. So I'll just show you these guys. So I turned the fan off real quick so you could hear me talking a little bit better since I'm literally sitting right next to it. This here is Nyx. She or he, doesn't matter the gender, this one's being kept 100% because of the awesome amount of frosted tips that this one has going on the crest. Absolutely gorgeous baby. I have only ever seen adult crested geckos with amazing crests like this. And when Nyx popped out of the egg, and I was like, holy shit, I was like, this gecko is going to be killer as an adult. Not fired up right now, but that white still punches you in the face. Like, it is vibrant and it is so pretty. So this is one of Blaze and Magma's babies. Most impressive one, I think, even more impressive than Snickers in my opinion. Snickers is really pretty, but she's not as gorgeous as she used to be when she was younger. She used to be very vibrant orange, and normally females don't dull down till they have been bred, but even though Snickers has not been bred, she did dull down as an adult. So I'm really hoping that Nyx here holds on to that color. Not going to show you too much of him or her just because they are very jumpy. So this is the container that I keep the babies in until they're about 3 months old. Once they hit 3 months old, then they get moved into one of those shoebox containers up there. And then once they get about, I want to say, 8 months, 10 months, somewhere in there, that's when they get moved into the larger containers right here. So, which I guess I could have showed you those containers there. Which, by the way, you can buy those at Walmart. They're $10. They work really well for babies until they're about 1.5 years old. So it'll last for quite a while. I'm only saying this if you breed. I would obviously suggest if you're having something as a pet to just get one of those tanks over there so it's a way more, you know, attractive looking. So this here is Nimblewit. This one is possibly on the holdback list because of how nice of a crest he or she has. Very nice crest. Definitely is going to possibly be a floppy crest. Pin striping is very nice, even though it is not complete. I was trying to stick him on my leg, and then he jumped. So, I'll try to show you the crest best I can, but you can see it's a really nice, almost diamond shape. People call it ravioli shape. This also is a very young baby, so that's why he or she is so jumpy. So that is Nimblewit. Aurora may or may not be on the holdback list, only if the crest turns out looking nice. So with this batch, I'm going to be extremely picky with who I keep because I want nice crest structure and I want nice coloration. So I am going to be very picky with what babies are being kept. That's why none of Harmony and Mischief's babies are being kept. So this, I think, is Aurora. Yes. Aurora is not fired up currently, but when she or he fires up, they're a nice orange color. You can see that white is really coming in, so this one's going to be an extreme tricolor. Hey, you were behaving. You were behaving. Hold still, please. Okay, so, other side. Not really much to see just because they're fired down. I'm going to stick them on my leg here so I can show you the crest structure. Come forward a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, hey, stop, you were being good. The crest structure is really poor once it hits the cheekbone area because you can see between the eye and this cheekbone area that there is no crest in this spot here. It's completely empty. But yeah, so that's not something I want. And it really sucks because this baby has a decent amount of pin striping, which is another thing that I would really like to have. But you can see here the pattern. So like I said, this one might be one that I'm going to sell. We'll just have to see what happens with that crest structure. So that's Aurora. I'm pretty sure Aurora and Tinsel were the ones that were born, yeah, on the 25th. Well, Tinsel was born on the 24th of December, so he was a Christmas Eve baby. Aurora was a Christmas Day baby, and then these two, Nyx and Nimblewit, came out on Thanksgiving, actually. So that was kind of funny. So this baby here, let's see, who is this? Okay, this is Tinsel. So Tinsel, like I said, is the Christmas Eve baby. And he's one that's going to be for sale. Now, even though he doesn't look like he really has much going on, some stuff is really starting to show up over here. So at this age, most of the time, not all the pattern's going to show up for quite a while. So when he hatched out, he looked pretty plain, like there was no pattern at all. And he has started to develop patterns, so I suspect that he's going to be just a plain tricolor, because he's got white coming in, and there is a little bit of orange that is starting to come in as well. You can see he's so much more well-behaved than his siblings. Crest structure is mediocre, but it's, in my opinion, better than Aurora's. Get back over here, little man. You're not going anywhere. Has decent pin striping, as you can see here. I'm going to hold on to the tail so he can't jump away. Hey, behave, mister. So crest structure, as you can see, he is on the move. Actually, it looks about the same as Aurora's. It kind of cuts off there towards the eyeballs. So that there is Tinsel. I'll go ahead and put him back in there so he doesn't try to escape. I had one baby the other day that ran under Raja's tank, except back there. It was Uno, by the way. Uno's a shithead. He's a little crazy. He'll be very well behaved, and then all of a sudden he'll want to run. So Alucard is the only baby I have that's over 3 months old that's still in one of these containers. I will say, though, he is finally starting to gain weight. I don't know if he's kind of hitting a growth spurt, but he is the runt. So he was the only egg that I think that Blaze had that was a singular egg, because all the others were laid in doubles, like normal. So here's Alucard. And he's on the holdback list as well, for obvious reasons. He's got that gorgeous, vibrant white. He has a decent crest structure going on. He's got some really nice dorsal patterning where it's almost all cream. Pin dashing, nothing too crazy going on there. And then some nice coloration here. He's got frosted tips coming in for the crest. But otherwise, this one is a male, so I can tell you that much because he's old enough I can tell. Like I said, crest structure is not like the most fantastic, and he doesn't want to hold still, so I can't really show you too well, but there's a better look. So as you can see, there's still that gap between the eye and the crest or the cheekbones, so something I'm not really too crazy about, but being that he is the runt of literally all of them, he just has been super slow growing. Now, I will say he gets, everybody actually, I will say real quick, gets 1 or 2 little baby dubias when they get fed, and then they, of course, get their fruit and insect Pangea, because that is normally what I feed the babies specifically. It's got a lot of nutrients in there. It's got protein from the bugs, so it helps them grow a lot faster. So that is the main flavor that they get fed. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to be the main update. I will say the mealworms are finally having little babies as well. My little mealworm breeding colony that I have going. And the main reason that I'm breeding these guys, not for the leopard gecko, but for the pupa. So let me sit this down over here actually where I had it, because I really do not want this to fall on the floor. So I'll show you the main reason that I'm breeding these guys is to harvest the pupa. So these here are the pupa. So I really like using these pupa to not only feed my older young babies, but also to give as a snack to the day gecko. And the only time I will ever feed a crested gecko a mealworm is in this form, because, or if they're freshly molted and the mealworm itself is white. That means the exoskeleton has not hardened yet, and it's easier for them to digest. If you feed a plain mealworm to a crested gecko, that exoskeleton is really thick, so it's harder for them to digest, so please don't feed mealworms to your crested geckos. Get crickets if you don't want to get Dubia Roaches, which Dubia Roaches are, in my opinion, the better of the two. Obviously, they live like 1,000 times longer. I hardly ever have any Dubia Roaches that die. If you decide to breed them, once you get them going, they have like about 25 to 30 babies, like every 1 or 2 months. So if you have a decent amount of females, you can get a decent amount of babies going. And you don't ever have to worry about buying feeders, and you can just give them scraps of food, honestly. I give them, they absolutely love zucchini and celery. And then I also occasionally give them some apple. So, and then they also have some grain, which I'll show you guys real quick what that looks like after I get this pupa put up, but I'll show you real quick what the other food they get is. Are you going to help me, Cleo? So anyway, their other food that they get, as well as the hissing cockroaches also get it. So they get a dish of this. They also have some of this. Better Bug Gut Loading Diet. It looks like this. Got that at PetSmart. We'll go in here to the hissing cockroaches. You can see that that is where the cricket diet is, and then I need to get them some more water gel. The heat lamp they have is the same as leopard geckos, so it gets about Probably at this level, it probably is 75, maybe 80 degrees. You can see one of them is peeking out of the little tree hut there. And then that is that food there. That's the high protein diet or whatever. It looks like that. They absolutely love zucchini, I found out. They really don't care for hardly anything else I give them except apple. And then I put the scraps over here for the springtails and stuff to eat because they will swarm those scraps and eat on them. And after like a week and a half, I'll remove the scraps that are in there and toss them outside because I don't want them to grow mold. But yeah, so this is the tank the hissing cockroaches are in, and all of them like to hide in that seed pod that's right there, and then occasionally they'll go into that tree stump, or they'll roam around over in those corners or whatever. So anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little pet update. I'm sure it's not really going to be that little because looking at, you know, how long it is, it's probably going to be quite lengthy, so I apologize in advance. So anyway, guys, like I was saying, like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. It always encourages me to make more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.